Well, hello there. My name is Eladrium, and welcome back to Bedrock. I am so glad that you guys are here. I really miss you. It gets really lonely on this server without all of my friends here to join with me in these wonderful adventures that we've been having. And today we have a lot of things planned to take care of, so let's go ahead and get started. You see, I've been giving a lot of thought to how empty and how lonely the server is, and Mom always said, you don't have any friends, you just gotta make them. So today, that's what it's all about. We are gonna make some new friends. I don't know if this creeper's gonna be friends with us. No, he's just gonna put holes in my lawn. Well, let's go ahead and just patch this up real quick and put our shield and helmet on. See, I take my stuff off to do a nice intro with you guys, and then a creeper comes up and tries to assassinate me. Those silly little creepers. Fill this back in. I don't probably have enough dirt to fill all this back in. That'll be okay though. Anyway, what we were talking about earlier is rebuilding the population of this world. As you guys can see here, I have already started with some sheep and some cow farms and some wheat farms, which I have mainly been using to feed myself, but also to feed the livestock that I've been growing. And today, we're gonna build up these populations, get some more farms going, and transform ourselves from being not just a mere survival on this chaotic and crazy world, but becoming a true master of our environment where we are not just surviving, we're actually living. So today, we are officially starting what I would like to christen as Operation Population. And at the very tippy top of my list is the villager situation that we have to come to. You see, sometime between the last two episodes and in between episodes while I was preparing for this village was attacked by more zombies than these oh so hopeless villagers could ever hope to defend on their own. And because we're on hard mode, the zombies busted down the doors, and well, let's just say that a significant portion of the villagers that I did have in this village have moved on to, let's say, greener pastures. However, no need to fear, I did discover the situation before it got too out of hand and packed away a couple of villagers, not in that house, I think it's over in this one, and locked them away with some fence gates and have kept them really safe. So we have 3 villagers here that we can work to build a farm out of, but that we're gonna come a little bit later. I want to start today building a couple of other farms and building up a couple other populations first. So let's go ahead and dive into that. You know, I still can't do that very well. I thought I could make it right there, but I couldn't. Anyway, the first population we're going to try to boost up is our sheep and cow farm. For our cows, we certainly don't need them for books since we raided the 2 stronghold libraries full of all the books that they had. However, for any type of item frames for a map room or anything else, we are going to need plenty of leather. And with regards to the sheep, I do want to make a sheep farm so that we can create a wool farm. Oh, no, please go back. No, go back in. Go back in, little sheepy. Sheep. Sheep. Go back in. Back in. Go back in. Go back. Come on. There you go. All right. So I do want to make a wool farm. However, we certainly don't have enough sheep to do that quite yet. So we will go ahead and let those baby sheep that we just made raise up. We'll be coming back there multiple times throughout the episode just to keep that population growing so that we have enough. But next, I want to work on something a little more special. You see, when we were in the end, we did manage to find ourselves a pickaxe with Silk Touch, which fortunately for us means we can now grab those beehives we saw earlier. Now, at the moment, I'm feeling very much resource poor. You see, I haven't gotten a lot of materials from the Nether, mainly quartz, because quartz is used in all sorts of redstone contraptions and devices, and my iron supply is rather underwhelming. At some point in a future episode, we will need to make an iron farm, an iron golem farm, so that we can actually solve that problem once and for all. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and show you what a budget Minecraft bee farm looks like. And oh boy, is it very simple. You see, all that you got to do to make this farm is mosey on down to a spot that you like. This place has lots of flowers, so I love it. Dig yourself a little hole underground that's 1 block deep. Fill it up with those campfires that you thoughtfully made earlier. place a block on top of them, and then place your honey hives that you stole from a tree with a silk touch pickaxe right on top of that. And with that in place, you have yourselves a budget bee farm. Now, fortunately for me, I have already seen that these are very full, so I can just harvest the honeycomb directly out of it. And to boost this population, we'll just make ourselves 3 more beehives, pop them right next to that. Also put some fires underneath them since we have a couple others. And now we can just work on giving our lovely little bees some more flowers. Those bees will populate, they will fill up our hives, and then we can silk touch those at a later point and then bring them in for an actual farm that we build later. Now for our main build today, what I really wanted to do is build out a villager farm and build them a nice, beautiful house for them to live in that we could possibly throw some other farms in. Now, I did see that that was going to be a large build when I was planning this, and I decided to get ahead of that and found about 2 shulker boxes full of deep slate cobble. But along the way, I found all of these resources: diamonds, redstone, iron, gold, lapis, the whole lot. So I haven't mined them yet, so let's just go ahead and find out how many we get. If you have an idea for what this could be with a Fortune 2 pickaxe, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to think about this, because I have no idea how many diamonds I actually got. I know that I got 14 diamond blocks. I'm hoping for, with Fortune 2, at least 28. Oh, that would be so nice. See, I have not had any diamonds to work with. Repairing tools has been a nightmare, and getting armor outside of that, which I took from those end cities, that's really all that I've had. So I am really looking forward to having these diamonds finally in my inventory. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. Looks like 2 stacks of redstone, 3 stacks of lapis, 23 gold, 36 iron, and 24 diamonds. You know, I'm not upset with that. It's more diamonds than what we had, and that's plenty enough to make some more armor and some more tools. But placing aside my obsession with the shiny things, we do need to talk about what today's build actually is. You see, I am in desperate need of a villager trading hall. I need to get mending books, I need to get unbreaking books, I need to get all sorts of enchantments. But because of my villager situation, what we really need to solve for first is a villager farm. Now, I do have a villager design up in another video. I'll go ahead and place a link for that up here in the corner, and also a link for that down in the description if you want to check that out. But I thought for today's build, we could put our villager farm and maybe a nice decorative little house around it that, hopefully, if we keep nearby it and the chunk stays loaded in, our villagers can continue to breed and grow in. And this skeleton right here is not part of my plans for a villager farm, so we'll just need to skedaddle him on out of the way. But there's plenty of space up here on this little mountain. I'm hoping that the farm design I have and the building design that I picked out will fit up here. I'm thinking maybe placing this right here in the middle, but this will be a nice little on-looking house that we can have. And if it is any bigger, we can fill it up with all sorts of other farms, maybe our sheep farm or our kelp farm or our sugarcane farm or really anything else. So then I'm going to go ahead and get that farm knocked out of the way just so I have a good idea of how much space it's going to take up, and I'll be back in a bit. All right, so the farm is done. Have a nice little space over here, have a nice little area built out. These guys are all nice and safe, and they have already started producing lots of babies. We do need to go into the nether just to make sure that everything is linked up there and build up our little containment center. Oh, and we have already produced a significant number of little baby villagers down here, but unfortunately this ghast, well, this is why we need to build our containment center, because this ghast is completely out of control. Okay, get him. Oh, there's one. Why did that not take care of him? Normally that would have done it. All right, jump. I'm not even trying to send it back to him. Do I get a ghast here? No, I don't. I guess I have to shoot it back for him. All right, anyway, let me go ahead and build up our containment center for our villagers over here. Then we'll go back topside. And after fighting off a few more ghasts, our villager containment unit in the nether is now safe and secure, and our baby villagers are safe. So go ahead, sit back, relax, I'll pick out the tunes, and let's roll a time lapse. that, we are finally done with this beautiful farm behind me. It took a long time and it took a lot more resources than I thought it would, but we are finally done with it. And I think it turned out rather nice. I'm really, really pleased with it. Though I definitely think in the future, I will need to get a stone farm and a tree farm set up, probably inside of this building I have here, just to make things a little bit easier. It's taken me a lot longer to get resources than I hoped it would. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, I did try to set this up on this hill. As you can see, I cleared out a lot of the snow that was up here. There's also a lot more flat area. What I want to do is bring a little path up from around our starter base up this little cliffside right here. Maybe have this switchback around, but up here I do have some switchbacks in place. I'm thinking about building up this side with maybe some stone walls with some stone fences, just to give this a little more character, make it look like a retaining wall maybe. But up on here you can see there's a lot of things going on in here, and honestly I think probably the only thing I would want to change if I had to redo this was having the front of this center section just pop out just maybe another block or two, just to give it a little more depth. But like I said, overall I am very, very pleased with it and very, very happy with how it came out. But let me go ahead and show you around and show you what all is now in this build. So we have a symmetrical build here on both sides. As you can see, we have the left and the right sides. They jut out just a little bit more, give it a little more depth and character. And yes, I did go ahead and do the back. I was thinking about at one point having this jut into the snow, but I thought it would actually look better if I just had it pre-standing here. Now, I do have a ton of snow out here. Ooh, there's a little goat there. Do I have a lead on me? Nope, don't. But I have a ton of snow out here that I still need to clear out. Right now, it just makes a really good access point up onto the roof. But coming back around here, we did have to extend this little cliffside out quite a bit, and I'm still working on reterraining all that down. I'll show you that in just a little bit. But moving on to the interior of the build, however, you can see here there is a lot of space and a lot of room for activities and other farms that we can build in. Right here we have our main villager farm. They've been busy hard at work, though I think maybe they may be filled up with seeds. I'll need to fix that a little bit later. But on both sides I have this nice big open space here at the bottom, and then up here is just a gargantuan space where we could put anything from a wool farm or a cobblestone farm or a kelp farm or a sugarcane farm. Really, I haven't quite decided yet, but there is tons of room up here that could fit everything from the farm to a sorter system where we can then cart stuff and move stuff around. So I'm very pleased with having all of this utility space. And of course, back here in the back, just a mirror of the front and some doors coming out. And as I said, I did need to terrain a significant portion of this mountain out, and I'm not quite done yet, but let's go ahead and take a look and see how far we got. And then also I'll show you how productive we have been in the nether with our little baby villagers. So we can just go ahead and climb down here. At some point I will add a connection from the main interior to our nether portal, but for now we need to walk all the way down here. As you can see, this is where I ran out of dirt. We'll need to fill that in a little bit later, but we do have a ton of room down in this area as well, where if we wanted to fill this up with some, I don't know, other farms, we could do that too. But the main reason that I was building this was because of all of this powdered snow block. Every time I was working on this, I would fall in, land in that, and then fall 4 blocks. So it was really important to me that I get this all covered up so that didn't happen again. But as you can see over here, we do have our entrance to our nether portal. And like I said, I will connect this back to the main base. For now, I really don't need it because we're going to be carting stuff in and out of the nether via rails and carts. So let's go ahead and take a look and just see how productive our farm has been. All right, let's see here. Oh, looks like there's one villager stuck here in the corner, and oh my. Yep, that farm has definitely worked and been productive. You can see there's got to be at least 50 of these little guys down here. Last time I was in here, there was 4 of them. I've already carted them off into other sections so I can build a rail, but oh wow. I think that that's going to be more than enough villagers for our trading hall and anything else that we're going to need to work on. But if we do ever need to come back here and create some more villagers, we can always give our villagers up there some more bread and clear the seeds out of their inventory. But for now, I think I'm just going to mosey on out of here to make sure that these guys stay safe. And we had so much done today. We improved the population of our sheep, cows, built a bee farm, built a villager farm, and also built this wonderful little building to house it, and a couple other farms that we have planned in the future. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you coming out and playing on Bedrock with me. I see a couple zombie villagers out here in the distance that I'm going to wrangle up, so I'm going to go take care of that. But remember, you are always welcome on Bedrock, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.